What's good people? Welcome back to the Modern Man Africa YouTube channel. In today's episode, I found an interesting article that I thought we would dive into and dissect so we can get a better understanding of what actually happens when African men go through divorce in South Africa. Let's jump straight into it. Title: Woman with 3 domestic workers and an au pair sues her husband for 68,000 Rand child maintenance. A woman in the midst of a divorce told the High Court that she spends over 110,000 South African rands every month to sustain herself and her 4 children, and needs her husband to pay over 68,000 Rand for the children's maintenance. The woman filed a Rule 43 application in the Northwest High Court in Mahikeng seeking an interim maintenance order pending their divorce. The pair married in 2015 out of community of property, excluding the accrual system. That was a good idea on his part. Congratulations, sir. You saw the writing on the wall. The two have biological children and adopted twins from the wife's late sister. In her application, she stated that her husband currently pays almost 34,000 Rand for her and the children's maintenance, which she claims is insufficient as it does not cover all their needs. Wow, imagine that. She provided the court with a financial disclosure form showing that her and her children's monthly expenses exceed 110,000 Rand, with the children's expenses amounting to over 69,000 Rand. She argued that her husband should pay at least 68,430 Rand towards the maintenance of the children and herself. She added that she currently earns 44,000 Rand each month, but her salary will decrease next year. Additionally, she took a loan of over 444,000 to secure a new home and purchase furniture. She claimed to pay 28,000 Rand for rent and 7,000 towards the loan. She asserted that her husband could afford the amounts she sought as he had always financed their luxurious lifestyle, including their residence in a 25 million Rand house. Wow. These are some of the rich people problems that I'd love to have. Mind you, the dude's going through a divorce and his wife is trying to rinse him dry, so maybe I don't quite need these problems. But a 25 million Rand house, yeah, I'd love to have that. The woman also mentioned that they employed 3 domestic workers, an au pair, and 2 gardeners. I wonder what you need 2 gardeners for, right? Like, she's probably banging one of them, stating that their services remained essential due to her work commitments. Yeah, no, she's definitely bagging one of them. She noted their international holidays using her husband's company jets and chartered helicopters, and cited a 1.4 million Rand car he gifted her and a 2 million Rand car he drives, both fully paid for. In his defense, the husband accused his ex-wife of exaggerating her expenses and failing to provide documentary proof. He claimed the rental amount was inflated by almost 10,000 Rand and denied his car was fully paid, stating it had a balance of 1.4 million Rand with a 29,000 Rand monthly installment. He argued that their vacations were financed by his father and asserted that his wife could afford the required maintenance as she is wealthy. He stated his own earnings as 64,000 Rand. This to me is starting to sound more and more like a messy divorce, but I'll get to my thoughts on where I believe this dude went wrong, although he did quite a number of things correctly. The judge noted that the husband sought a ruling against his wife but failed to provide proof of his income. Sounds like bro's trying to hide his money. The judge acknowledged that while the husband's father might have assisted financially, it did not fully explain their lifestyle expenses. The judge concluded that the husband had the capacity to provide a luxury lifestyle for his family, which could not be achieved on a salary of 64,000 Rand. After considering the financial capacity of both parties, the judge ordered the husband to contribute at least 45,510 Rand monthly towards the maintenance of his children and wife, excluding school fees, which he must pay directly to the school. He was ordered to pay 100,000 Rand towards the wife's legal costs. He's getting hung out to dry. How can you pay 3/4 of your salary, 45,000 Rand in monthly expenses, and you claim to only earn around 64,000? It's not just in the West where men are being put through the ringer in terms of divorce proceedings and in terms of them leaving their significant others. And it's no wonder that fewer and fewer people are deciding to tie the knot and get married, because when she inevitably decides to leave, she can leave with a whole lot of cash and prizes, which in my personal opinion is unfair to the dude. I don't know. It's almost as if the legal fraternity haven't sat down and thought about the far-reaching implications of the institution of marriage if they keep doing this to successful men, because the way men see it is that, well, if they can do it to a rich, successful, well-to-do guy like that, well, then it's only a matter of time until it's my turn before I'm put through the ringer like that. And looking at my own resources and my own financial ability and clout, yeah, like it's not that much, and I'd hate for that to be me. And obviously the courts have metrics and ways to determine these child maintenance payments and payments to your ex-wife, but I mean, it's out of hand. It really, really is. All right, guys, disclaimer time. I'm not a licensed professional in any of the following 3 spheres of professions. I think I've identified 3 possible avenues that could assist men in not finding themselves in a difficult situation whereby they'll get their entire lives upended in the event of a divorce. One of the things that I strongly recommend is that should you ever find yourself in the situation where you want to get married, first and foremost is go and consult a lawyer. Speak to a licensed legal professional to see how they could advise you in terms of setting up your life, your finances, and everything else in between for during the course of the marriage and what would happen in the event that it were to be dissolved. The second most important individual that I believe that every man should go consult before getting married is a financial advisor. A financial advisor would be able to guide you in terms of what it is that needs to be done when it comes to things such as your finances. This has got to do with things like your investments, your retirement annuity, your pre-existing marital assets that belong to you, and how you could protect those from the rainy day that is an ever-present storm in modern relationships, aka divorce. The third and final individual that I believe that every man should go and consult is an accountant. Why? Because the first 2 individuals could possibly advise you that, hey, if you want the full protection and anonymity for your assets and all your holdings, perhaps the best option that you have is to open a trust. By opening a trust, all your assets can be owned by that trust and not by yourself. So your house, your car, your investments, so everything that belongs to you can be transferred to the ownership of the trust, and that when it comes time to declare premarital assets in an asset register prior to getting married, then at least on paper, it can seem as though you don't own nothing and you'll be happy. Shout out to the WEF. The accountant is useful in this regard because the accountant will be able to explain to you that the tax implications for having said trust. Because if anything, you don't want to find yourself on the right side of a divorce, but on the wrong side of the tax man. Because trust me, what the tax man will do to you will make what your ex-wife is planning to do to you look like child's play. All right, guys. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video and it's given you some food for thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Don't be afraid to engage with the conversation, and let's help one another out to see things a little bit differently in terms of what we can do as men to prepare ourselves for the eventuality of marriage and what could possibly go wrong in between. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.